setting up the Epson 4800 direct-to-film printer for the very first time, we're going to go over some really basic functionality as well as the basic supplies you need to just have the printer sitting on a table ready to begin testing. So the first thing we're going to look at is the maintenance tank. These maintenance tanks are reusable, either with a resetter, which we do not recommend because those sometimes fail, and if you ever find yourself without a maintenance tank and unable to reset it, the printer is essentially dead. We sell replacement chips, which are easy to keep in inventory, work flawlessly every time, and you can keep an inventory of how many resets you have. Now, whether you've reset the chip or if you've installed a brand new chip, you're going to take your maintenance tank, run it in there, and now that it's inserted, this is going to show you the life of your maintenance tank that you have in there. Now for the ink, if you're using, as we recommend, cadlink Digital Factory, your ink order on the left will be black in the black cartridge, cyan in the cyan cartridge, magenta in the magenta cartridge, yellow in the yellow cartridge, white in the light gray, light magenta, light cyan, and light gray. So we're going to take these and we're going to place them into their matching slots. And remember, you are matching the colors on the cartridge, not the colors in the ink tank necessarily. Common issue that we see sporadically is there's two grays and they're all white. The chips are not interchangeable. They must go into the original slot. Even though they're all white, each cartridge still needs to go back to its proper spot. So we have our maintenance tank in, and now I've inserted all 8 cartridges. I am going to close the levers on the side. For the purpose of the video, I am going to use a roll of paper I just have hanging around, but you are going to take your roll of film, which will be identical other than the fact that it is clear. Paper lever needs to be up. Now you can release the shaft. The black end of the shaft is removable. The gray end is not. The gray end is what we will push all the way up against to get the roll into the proper position. So we'll remove the black piece. Set it down. The paper needs to roll off of the top down. We're going to insert the shaft like so. Black cap goes back on the other end. And then we will place the shaft back into the printer. Once the shaft is back into the printer, we'll get the lead edge of the film. And the film gets inserted like so. Going to go underneath these white fingers and on top of this plate. You are going to roll the film. It'll be clear when you do it, so you have to keep an eye out through, and then we're going to roll it back till it just barely covers that screw right there. And when we're rolling it, we want to move it from the middle, because if you push on one side, you could get the film skewed. I usually like to roll it forward and then slowly let the roll run back right there. Close the lever. Now, as you can see, it's saying that we do not have cartridges in the black, as well as the light gray and light cyan. A common problem with these cartridge readers is the chips not aligning perfectly, and this could be due to dust or ink buildup inside the ink bay. This can also just be due to too much play in the cartridge. So we're going to go lever up. We're going to remove the cartridge. And we're going to take 3 pieces of cardstock halfway inserted into the bay. You do need to remove the cartridge and place the paper in there afterwards. You can't simply place the paper in there. It won't do a new read until it detects that the cartridge has been moved. So remove cartridge. Pieces go in. Lever closes. I'm going to go look at the other side as well. Cartridge comes out. Paper goes in. Again, 3 pieces of cardstock is really all that's needed to keep it snug and in position. Halfway inserted upon the bottom. Lever down. Now, when we're running, these air caps must be open. Otherwise, the ink will not flow into the printer. When you're moving these cartridges around or you're shaking them to keep the ink agitated, you want to close them. But when you're actually running, these clips must be down. These air holes must be open, sorry. Reading it to recognize and charge all the dampers. Press pause. And now we're ready to begin. The next step is going to involve getting the ink from these cartridges through the print lines all the way down to the print head. We've got a series of buttons here. We have menu, we have up and down arrows. This button here changes us from roll with a cutter, roll with no cutter, sheet fed only. Sheet fed only will not print from the roll. You need to leave it in this position here, roll with the little pair of scissors icon next to it. This will allow you to print and cut. When you're looking to cut, you don't click this. This is a common issue people have, is they click it to cut and it changes. Now it won't cut at all. When we're in the roll with scissors position, hold this button until it says cutting, and then you can release it and it will cut your most recent print. If its printer's stuck in some sort of odd functionality, you can hold the pause button. It will say reset, wait for that to complete, and then get back to work afterwards. But now that we've got our ink and our maintenance tank installed, we are going to click menu. We'll go down 1, down 2, down 3, down 4. Maintenance, right arrow, which is the menu button. Ignore cutter replace, ignore black ink change. Power cleaning, menu right button. Now we'd have to click menu right button again to begin. We're not going to do this right now for the video, but you would simply click menu again. It would begin power cleaning. During the power cleaning, it is going to say on the screen, lift levers. You're going to lift the blue one here and the blue one here. After about a minute, it's going to say lower levers. You will follow the instruction and lower the lever here, lower the lever there. It'll say a second time, lift levers, repeat. It'll say a second time, lower levers, repeat. That'll get you, it takes about 3 or 4 power cleanings to get the ink all the way from the cartridges down to the print head. So this is going to take you about 20 to 30 minutes of levers up, levers down, levers up, levers down. Then start another power cleaning, levers up, levers down, levers up, levers down. Another power cleaning, levers up, levers down, levers up, levers down. Sometimes the third one is enough. Sometimes you need to go to the fourth power cleaning, levers up, levers down, levers up, levers down. And at that point, the printer should be ready to print for you. So at that point, we're going to back out of maintenance, back to the ready screen, menu, down arrow, test print. And here we do nozzle check. You could do this from the computer when doing diagnostics. I prefer to do things from the computer. However, if you're in a hurry, your computer's not started, you're going to need to do nozzle check on the screen. That's an option. We're going to back out. You can't print when you're in the menu. Need to make sure you back all the way out so it says ready, and then you can send prints. For other instructions, we have a cadlink video on how to set up your cadlink grip. We have another video on how to wind your powder shaker. Okay, what to do when your waste tank is full or your cartridges are reading empty. Make sure that both of the plungers are pressed to the back of the cartridge so it doesn't leak while we're working on it. And here's what we're looking at. We have 7 pins on the chip on the cartridge, and we have 7 pins on our resetter. We're going to line up the 2, hold it down, and when it's green, it's full again. Maintenance tank is a little bit more work. We're going to pull our maintenance tank out. If it has a significant amount of ink in it, you need to remove that ink. I'm going to use a basic little dental tool. They're at Harbor Freight for a couple of bucks. I am going to place it in that little crevice right there. Pop it off. The replacement chips come in these little packs like this that simply snaps like that. And I'll line up the 2 holes. And give it a little bit of pressure until I feel it clipped in slightly. Now, when you're putting the maintenance tank straight back in, the first time it will not read because the new chip doesn't have any electrical charge. So we will place it in, it will read not empty, it's going to read no maintenance cartridge. You have to pull the cartridge all the way out so the switch registers a change, and then press all the way back in, and now it'll read as a full maintenance tank.